Hey, today we're going to take a look at the new weapon details. We'll go over a developer's response about the known issue list and why certain bugs are at a higher priority than others. And there's so much more I'll be covering. If you can, make sure to share the video, consider subscribing with notifications on, and tap the like button below, and let's get right into it. First and foremost, we're going to check out a new leak that was showcased by Ironsights, but before we go over it, I'd like to give you a fair warning. If you do not want to see any leaks at all, then I highly suggest you pick a timestamp below in the description to choose a different part of the video. With that being said, you have been warned, and what we have today is a new toxic weapon for the Jar 5 Dominator. Now, Ironsights mentioned that this has been in the files for a while. However, in the past, the Jar 5 Dominator toxin would crash every single time it was loaded. Thankfully, we can now see what it looks like in action after the recent update. What you'll notice is that the new weapon has a large AoE, in other words, a large area of effect. This right here most likely will not be the final design, and it should have an exceptionally smaller radius. Also, with the weapon in mind, it's fair to point out that Ironsights mentioned that this could be a new variant for the Dominator, or simply a placeholder so that the team at Arrowhead can test it out. They very well could change it so that it's not the Dominator, but instead a different weapon design that the team at Arrowhead has in mind. On a similar note, Ironsights revealed that he will soon be showcasing the Thermite version of the Jar 5 Dominator. So just a quick recap, what we know so far is it's a new weapon. We don't know if the Arrowhead developers are going to add a new Jar 5 variant, or if they're going to create a new weapon design for both the Toxin and Thermite versions. Keep in mind, anything can change when it comes down to leaks. We saw this with the Killzone 2 War Bomb before on X, and I'm sure, as time goes on, they will most likely adjust and change how things work. Next, let's talk about the known issue list. I know there have been comments in the past videos where a few of you wanted to know why the developers don't resolve any of the known bugs that have been on the list for a while. Well, there's a developer who informed us a month ago about the priority list and why certain bugs have been on the list for such a long time without receiving a proper fix. There's a player here who asked an Arrowhead developer on the Helldivers 2 Reddit page last month and specifically asked when they post the bug list, does it include everything known by the dev team? In response, the developer Patrick responded with this: "No, it's a shortened list of what we're currently looking at. Some of those things have been there for a while because the solutions we had to them didn't pan out or were more complex than we initially thought." Now, backtracking back to what I was talking about with the comments, I believe one of the questions I received in a past video was about bugs and why it's taken a long time for them to patch an issue. For example, the Hellbomb bug that's been there on the list for just a while now, as well as the last 5 side scope bug. Patrick here explained that certain bugs require more work since they're complex, or that they've tried to implement a fix but it just didn't work out too well, which forces them to keep the bug on the list. I hope that helps and answers any questions about the known issue list overall. But anyways, the developers have done an exceptional job at patching the issues. The Illuminate update patched tons of bugs, so in due time you'll see a bug here marked off the list and resolved. We also have another response from Patrick about the Euro bug for controllers. Now this response is also from last month. It's worth bringing up considering no one has talked about it yet. In the same thread, a player created this post that explains there's an issue with acceleration, steadying, and brought up how there's a bug when inverting the right stick. It also inverts the Euro aim. The developer Patrick saw this and in response said, "Hey, I've now seen this and forwarded it to the team. No promises on where it will land in the priority list, but always happy to see such a detailed feedback suggestion post." This was posted 6 days before the Illuminate patch announcement, and nothing was mentioned in the patch notes about Euro, so this bug will most likely be resolved in a future update, or possibly a hotfix, depending on the priority list of course. We know that they're aware of it and that certain bugs will take time depending on how complex the bug actually is. All in all, this information is worth sharing so that you know about the Euro bug, why certain issues haven't been resolved yet, and that the developers know about it. Last but not least, the Arrowhead developer Patrick responded to a player's question that asked about surveys. So in December, the Arrowhead developers posted a survey for Helldivers to fill out. A player here stated that they've done this in the past 2 or 3 weeks. The player asks how these surveys help, and if so, how long does it take for them to show up in game? The response Patrick gave can be seen here, and he wrote, "The feedback is collated and shared internally. They do help, but yeah, lead times are a lot longer than what people would expect. It's also a matter of prioritizing what to fix compared to everything else we're doing. So it's not as much that these surveys speed things up, but they help us prioritize and be more accurate with fixes. Well, that's something I don't believe I knew about. It seems that these surveys do help depending on if there are more players reporting similar issues, considering that he mentioned it helps them prioritize the fixes and be more accurate with them. Basically, if you have reported a bug in the past and it's not listed on the known issue list, it's because there aren't enough reports from other players. Now, this doesn't mean that they're not aware of your bug yet. Like I've said, the more reports help them determine which bugs to tackle first and which ones are more important. With that topic aside, the Arrowhead support team replied to a question about the fast Recon vehicle. There's a player here that asked if there's going to be an option to customize the controls specifically for the FRV, because right now they're stuck using the default WASD keys plus shift and control for movement. They use different keys for movement normally, so they're wondering if there will be a way to change these specific controls in the future, since there's no option for that now. In response, the Arrowhead support team member B Vitamin wrote back and said, "We've gotten this feedback a lot since the FRV was released. Devs are aware of the sentiment, but I couldn't say if there are any plans to change it or not. Most are out of the office enjoying vacation at the moment, and decisions regarding a bunch of stuff will probably made but no idea how long it would take for those to be implemented, if they are." Yep, the developers have seen the feedback about this. However, since they're out of the studio, it looks like we won't know for sure until they're back, which should be in 2 days from now. I'll keep you all updated on that once I know for sure what's going on and if they're planning on resolving any bugs or if the team at Arrowhead has any plans to adjust the FRV keybinds. On a different note, did you know the Strafer run originally lagged the game so badly that the developers had to change it? There's confirmation on this right here. The Chief Creative Officer wrote this on X and mentioned that there's a fun fact. Originally, the Eagle Strafer run had the same exact stats as the A10's GAU8. He then mentioned that it made the game lag too much due to the fire rate. That's interesting. So, yeah, it's kind of similar to the Eruptor, except there was no lag, but they had to change it because it had the same shrapnel as the Airburst Strike. However, it was then changed to have frag shrapnel instead. There are some funky decisions that are made behind the scenes, but then are changed. It's kind of fun to know exactly what was going on at the time with the Eagle Strafer run. Lastly, for today's video, this will be my last conversation about the saluting secret. With that said, I wanted to test out the saluting secret a little bit more. This time, instead of one Helldiver, we have 2 Helldivers saluting in one spot. You can see right here in the middle, I'm timing this to see exactly how long it will take for us to complete this mission. Now, big shout out to Koi for testing this out with me, and so what Koi and I did was place down several turrets on the point of interest, and we found out that it only takes 1 minute and 7 seconds to complete the mission. On the other hand, if you're solo, then the time is actually a lot more, especially if you're not saluting. It takes a total of 1 minute and 40 seconds to complete the flag mission, and that's without saluting, by the way. Yet it does help slightly if you're solo and saluting, but yeah, nonetheless, you can actually cut the time down even more if you have 4 Helldivers nearby saluting. So the next time you complete an objective mission that has a waiting time on it, just equip 2 sentries or more to guard you and your team while you all salute. This will make things way easier and you complete the mission way faster without waiting longer than you have to. So overall, that's all I wanted to show. I know a lot of you are already aware of this because of my previous videos, but I just wanted to let you guys know more about this and give you the exact time and tell you how long it takes to complete one mission with 2 Helldivers compared to 1. And obviously, I wasn't saluting in the second one, but to be fair, saluting does help out a little bit if you're solo, but not as much as it would if you were with another person or 4, right? But yeah, overall, this is pretty much it, guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the testing and whatnot. Alright, we're towards the end of the video. Now, typically what I like to do is go over your suggested loadouts and talk about a little bit what you use, but, you know, I'm still looking through the comments, so don't worry. If you've already posted one before, I'm still looking at them, but if you want to, you can post it again in this video. That might increase the chances, but overall, definitely post it again if you haven't done so, and we'll see if we'll feature it in the next one. With that being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. We're now going to check out the top 3 comments. All you have to do is comment down below, talk about the video, maybe make a comment of your own about something I've said or something, and if you get enough upvotes, I'll feature your comments in the video. The first top comment is from Sonny02 or Sony02. You said, "I think the dev handled it really well and it's just Twitter being Twitter." Maybe so, but I saw several comments about that specific topic and just had to cover it for you guys and let you know exactly what's going on and kind of have the developers back, essentially. The second comment is by SCT Ninja Strike. Always good to see you, bud. I see you in the Discord as well, and I will reply back to your comment. But you said, fun fact, each SES carries a crew of 33 members, plus 10 Helldivers in cryosleep per Helldiver, with a total of 12 million Helldivers. This means there are 528 million military personnel, including support crews and Helldivers. Given this, the military represents roughly 0.8 of the total population. This suggests that the population of Super Earth and all its colonized planets combined is approximately 66 billion people. Holy smokes. Wow. Okay, how did you get those stats? And first off, great job on it. I mean, excellent comment, but crazy stuff. I understand what you said, but damn, that's a lot. Last but not least, we have the third comment by SoFaking1627. The game is so much better when you ignore the social media and YouTube videos about it. Touché. I would say that's fair to say. But I just wanted to cover that topic specifically just to let you guys know exactly what's going on, as I've mentioned with the first comment. Anyways, those are the top 3 comments. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, give this video a like by tapping that thumbs up button down below. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and let me know your overall thoughts about the video. I appreciate y'all supporting the channel. It's been a blessing to have you guys on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and see ya.